This is Win News.
Tonight, medical staff quitting Shellharbour Hospital over privatisation plans. Hundreds turn out for the opening of Wollongong Central. And firearm convictions quashed against shooter Michael Diamond. Good evening, I'm Jeff Phillips. Also coming up tonight, a Wollongong startup developing a domestic violence alert. There are claims tonight Shellharbour Hospital staff are quitting their jobs over the ongoing uncertainty over possible privatisation. The claims come while senior doctors fear the issue could spark the end of well-established junior doctor training programs.
Months into the community's fight to keep Shellharbour Hospital in public hands, and the campaign is not losing any momentum. Protesters plan to rally again this weekend, worried a decision from the government is not far away.
We understand that approximately 17 senior staff have already left the hospitals in anticipation that the privatisation will go ahead. And again, they're crippling our hospitals with what they've proposed to do already, and the decision hasn't even been made.
Local doctors say if the government chooses to go down the private model path, Shellharbour Hospital will lose its teaching hospital classification, losing 30 junior doctor training positions per year.
No longer will senior doctors be spending time training medical students and junior doctors. No longer will senior doctors be doing research because they're not. That doesn't generate revenue.
Intern doctors worry what it will mean for their future, particularly for specialist training.
There's already a bit of a crunch in terms of getting onto training programs and then getting jobs after you specialise. And I think the privatisation of public hospitals will only add to this.
Campaigners plan to send the state government a clear message they won't be giving up the fight. They'll be chalking up cars at Shellharbour's old council chambers on Saturday between 9 and 12. The Illawarra and Shoalhaven local health districts said in a statement that regular staff turnover is a reality of all hospitals and staff leave for a variety of reasons. Caitlin Dugan, Win News.
Well, it was first in, best dressed at Wollongong Central today as hundreds of shoppers waited in line for the opening of the newly renovated David Jones and the centre's new wing. The renovations are part of a $90 million upgrade of the mall in the last 2 years, creating more than 300 jobs in the CBD.
Anticipation this morning as crowds waited eagerly out the front of the city's new David Jones store.
I'm very excited, to be honest. Can't wait.
Formalities before the clock struck 9 even had the Lord Mayor unable to contain his excitement.
Today we're celebrating exceptional Wollongong. Everyone, 3 cheers. Hip hip hooray! Hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
More than 200 new DJ staff at the ready, and with the cut of the ribbon, the new look store opened to the public, many beelining to the shop's unique new addition.
I love the food court in Sydney, so hopefully they'll have something like that.
The first in over 30 years, the store's draw card is a new cafe dining experience and grocery hall, curated in collaboration with celebrity chef Neil Perry.
Tell us a bit about what's on offer here.
Well, what's great about it is everything that you see around you in retail, we're really cooking with it here. So it's a great opportunity for people to see the produce, to taste it before they take it home.
But the madness didn't end in David Jones. Outside, it was a pilgrimage to the holy grail of cosmetics, Mecca Maxima. One keen shopper arriving from Nowra at 2 a.m. to be first inside.
Pretty exciting. I love my makeup, so I knew I had to be the first in line.
Others just as enthused.
You don't have to go all the way to Miranda and stuff to get makeup.
With more than 200 people in the Mecca Maxima line, security are only letting 10 in at a time to avoid a stampede. And the shopping begins.
What are you looking for today? Just foundation today and highlighter.
Customers also explored new outlets of T2, Peter Alexander, Review and a locally owned hairdresser.
To be able to open a salon in such a high-end position of the shopping centre and to be the only independent is such an honour.
It's expected to be a big weekend of shopping ahead. The revamped centre is expected to give a much-needed lift to the city, providing jobs and boosting the economy. Sydney Pede, Win News.
And while shoppers are spending up big at the opening of David Jones, they'll also be helping the bereaved family of Victorian man Sean Oliver, who was working as a contractor fitting out the store when he drowned at North Beach last month. The father tragically drowned after diving into treacherous conditions to save 2 children who'd been swept away. David Jones will donate 2% of today's earnings to the family. GPT will match the dollar amount. Two-time Olympic gold medalist Michael Diamond has been acquitted of 3 firearm convictions that effectively ended his remarkable shooting career. He's hoping to get his gun licence back immediately to start training for the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games.
Few have achieved more in the sport of clay target shooting than Olympian Michael Diamond, but today's victory is one of the sweetest. The dual Olympic gold medalist was found guilty in May of firearms and drink driving offences following a domestic incident with his brother in Nelson Bay last year. The conviction saw him banned from holding a gun licence for 10 years and ineligible to nominate for the 2016 Rio Olympics. But today in Newcastle District Court, that verdict was quashed by Judge Roy Ellis. Elated, the 45-year-old will immediately aim to get his gun licence back, now on target to compete in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Kimberly Pratt, Win News.
The first sod has been turned on the $50 million Bulli Aged Care Centre of Excellence. The centre will be developed across from the existing hospital and will provide a new standard of aged care in the Illawarra.
At Bulli Hospital this morning, it was all hands to the shovels to break some already softened ground.
1, 2, 3.
In a short while, this site will be transformed into a new 60-bed hospital for the aged and a 60-suite IRT care centre.
This will provide inpatient beds, a clinical and non-clinical support service, as well as an urgent primary healthcare facility combined with beds that focus on supporting aged care.
For the local member, it's the end of a decade-long battle.
It's fantastic that today we're actually going to be preserving the Bulli Hospital in a medical facility, but also giving life to the new Bulli Hospital.
The Aged Care Centre of Excellence will be a partnership between the New South Wales Government and the IRT. It'll overcome a major challenge in aged care, linking acute hospital care, community health, nursing home and palliative care.
By having ourselves an IRT on the same site, we're going to be better able to integrate that care.
Work will start almost immediately.
We're going to specialise in palliation and dementia care, and that's part of our signature service in IRT, and that's part of the journey of care that we'll be offering to the community.
And with the Illawarra's population ageing, it won't be long before a quarter of the population is over 65, and that means this facility can't come soon enough. George Wood, Win News.
A 24-year-old Victorian man has been sentenced to a 3-year good behaviour bond and disqualified from driving for 18 months following a fatal incident on the Hume Highway in December. Matthew Charlotte was driving his utility vehicle at 110 kilometres an hour when he struck a motorcycle in Winslow. The 58-year-old rider was thrown several metres and died at the scene. The state government has vowed to crack down on foreign betting agencies, otherwise known as synthetic lotteries, to protect customers and small businesses. Details remain scarce, but the announcement is being welcomed by news agencies with open arms.
Synthetic lottery, it's the new gambling craze sweeping the country. It's not like your ordinary lottery. Instead of buying a ticket, you're betting on the outcomes of lotteries across the globe.
Synthetic lotteries can be very misleading with the advertising that is being provided, and a lot of consumers aren't aware of what they are actually participating in.
Many synthetic lottery companies are based overseas and don't have the same strict restrictions and regulations as domestic versions. These companies also aren't required to pay state government taxes which fund crucial infrastructure. Deputy Premier John Barilaro begs the question, is it worth the gamble?
And when we don't receive tax revenue, that means less money for hospitals, less money for schools, less money for roads, and we have an obligation on behalf of the people of New South Wales to make sure we generate the revenue from taxation from lotteries.
While any formal action to restrict synthetic lotteries is very much in the planning stage, all options are being explored.
Could be legislation, could be regulation, it could be taxing. Those options will all be considered over the coming months, and very soon we'll be announcing exactly what that pathway will be.
News agencies across the state have been calling for action for months. plastering stores with posters, brochures and petitions, their pleas finally being heard on Macquarie Street.
Definitely help us and it'd help the community as a whole.
Matthew Burgess, Win News.
A Wollongong startup is working to prevent domestic violence in Australia, but until now it has been having difficulty getting the federal government on board. However, a visit from the Assistant Minister for Digital Transformation today could change that. He's promising to break down the barriers to government IT procurement.
It may not look like much, but this device is saving the lives of hundreds of women experiencing domestic violence.
We have had specific incidences whereby people have been saved or have actually prevented abuse because of the device.
With just the touch of a button, women in danger can send out a duress call and their exact location, knowing the police will be there within minutes. And there's no room for pranksters, with each handset linked to one person, checking that they're okay daily.
So that when a duress call is specifically made, they know it's a real event.
Currently, the device is being trialled in New South Wales, protecting 200 women, 40% of which are in the Illawarra, and it's proving to save women's lives with just the click of a button.
Our intention is obviously to look nationally and see whether the other states will pick up what we've done here in New South Wales.
And the man that holds the key to that expansion visited the Innovation Campus today, pledging to unlock a $650 million fund in the hopes of seeing
more small, fast-growing companies around Australia are being supported by good IT contracts with the federal government.
He said the government's introducing modern policy to unlock new age technology, breaking down big IT contracts to give smaller players a piece of the pie, and changing the way purchasing is done within the local tech sector.
Because government has been a notoriously difficult customer for IT services companies in the past.
Kimberly Pratt, Win News.
Ahead on Win News, a positive reaction to plans for 700 homes on the old Corrimal cokeworks site, and how a love of art is helping refugees in the Illawarra. Welcome back to Win News. There's hope the 700 planned new homes at the former Corrimal cokeworks site could help alleviate housing price pressure in the northern suburbs. While the proposal has a lot of support, not everyone is convinced.
Dramatic plans are in motion to transform the old Corrimal cokeworks site, 700 homes on the 18-hectare block, to include apartments, townhouses and single-storey dwellings.
For young couples, it'll be an opportunity for them to find equity or their way into the market. So a medium-density apartment or a townhouse or something of that nature means that they can buy into that.
The new estate's set to tie in with the plans to reactivate Corrimal. The Chamber of Commerce hopeful the hundreds of extra residents will give the suburb the pulling power to improve connectivity on the Sydney train line.
I think that we've actually got a way to actually go to the state government and say, OK, instead of just having two stations close to each other, such as Wollongong and North Wollongong for Rule and Ostomy, we need a middle stop, and that middle stop can be Corrimal.
But not everyone is convinced.
A traditional quarter-acre block, and I think most people still want to live in traditional quarter-acre blocks. We don't want all these high-rises coming up. It's not still a nice little quaint town.
Well, I didn't know it was 700 houses, but you mentioned that, yeah, it does sound like a lot of houses for that small area, yeah.
Wollongong Council will need to consider Corrimal cokeworks' submission to rezone the land. Caitlin Dugan, Win News.
Royal Lifesaving is launching a new Respect the River campaign after discovering that 1,100 people have drowned in rivers, creeks and streams over the past 15 years.
This is an alarming statistic which makes inland waterways our leading location for drowning deaths in Australia.
Even more surprising is that a majority of those drowning victims in New South Wales are not tourists or children, but local men aged between 25 and 34, generally under the influence of alcohol or drugs. Royal Lifesaving is urging watergoers to wear life jackets and look after your mates. Local painters will donate their artwork to help refugees settle into the region at a charity exhibition later this month. Among those donating their work is Syrian refugee Nargis Laspay, who was helped by the services at the Strategic Community Assistance for Refugee Family Centre, or SCARF, as a newcomer 2 years ago. She says she's used painting as a way to express her feelings since leaving Syria and wants to give back to the organisation.
In the very beginning, I was introduced to Scarf, and I felt that it's a great organisation. I just loved the way that they do things.
The Artful Refugee exhibition will be on at the Innovation Campus from October 26 until November 12, where the works will be on sale. All the money raised goes to Scarf programs. Sport is next with Melissa, and World Cup selections continue for those Dragons.
Yeah, they certainly do, Jeff. Another 5 players have been picked. We'll tell you who next. Plus, the Hawks leave for Cairns and Ali Day out to rewrite the record books at the Coolangatta Gold. The St George Illawarra Dragons will be well represented at next month's Rugby League World Cup, with squad announcements continuing today. Jason Nightingale will line up for New Zealand with outgoing Dragons Russell Packer. Nene McDonald will lace up for Papua New Guinea, and Sevilla Vili will play for Tonga. Hard done by to miss out on Australian selection, Paul Vaughan being given the nod to play for Italy alongside former Illawarra cutter Shannon Wakeman. The Illawarra Hawks are lining up to prove their doubters wrong as they head to Cairns for the opening round of the NBL season. Coach Rob Beveridge has come out swinging at claims the side will struggle this season, and he's not alone.
It's been a long and testing pre-season, but finally go time is here, and the Hawks aren't short of motivation written off before they've even taken the court.
We've been tipped to come 7th. People just don't rate us, and we find that a bit disrespectful.
Definitely disrespectful. You know, we made a semi-final and then a grand final, you know, back-to-back years. So I think that, you know, we deserve a bit of respect in that sort of matter. But it is what it is, you know, and we've kind of got our targets on our backs this year, I think.
Last year's grand finalists spurred on by internal motivation as much as external chatter. Ellis planning to reap the benefits of an off-season transformation that saw him shed 8 kilos.
Body's feeling good, you know, dropped that bit of weight, and yeah, I mean, I'm ready to go. You know, on the court, feeling really good. Touch is feeling there, and just excited.
All games will be broadcast live on pay TV, including tomorrow's against the Taipans in Cairns. The Hawks out to prove their doubters wrong.
We're one of the most exciting teams in the league. You know, we're always one of the highest scoring teams, and these guys just play nothing but 100%. And I think that's what we pride ourselves on, and hopefully the fans can get behind us and come down and support us, because we need their support.
Jared Constable, Win News.
Sussex Inlet's golden girl Jasmine Greenwood has made a magical international debut, claiming gold in the 100 metres breaststroke at the Canadian Open in Toronto. Greenwood clocked a time just over 1 minute and 20 seconds to take out the win, edging out Aussie teammates Madeline Scott and Paige Lienhart. It comes just a week after her planned World Paraswim Championships debut in Mexico was pushed back due to an earthquake. Her win puts her firmly in the frame for Commonwealth Games qualification. Australian cricketing great Lisa Sthalekar says Bowrell's Lauren Cheadle could hold the key to the Sydney Sixers retaining the WBBL trophy. Sthalekar was on hand at Kiama's Surf Beach as it was turned into a sea of pink just in time for the start of the new season.
A wave of pink on the soft sand of Surf Beach as the Sixers swamped the south coast.
Best bit is playing cricket and having fun.
A pink army snaking its way through 12 coastal locations in 4 weeks, stopping in at Wollongong tomorrow, hosting junior clinics the whole way through.
I was throwing the ball to the other person and he was throwing it back at me.
The fact that we're able to get up and down the coast of New South Wales and showcase the Sixers Beaches Blast. It's exciting for the kids because they get their first taste of cricket as the summer starts to hit.
After rejoining the Sixers on their way to winning last season's title, Sthalekar has full confidence her old side has the legs to go again, anointing Southern Highlands recruit Lauren Cheadle as the player to lead the charge.
I think she's going to add a lot to the group and the experience of Elise Perry, Elisa Healy, Marizanne Kapp and Darnay van Niekerk, I think will hold the girls in good stead. But everyone's done a lot of movement this year in the WBBL, so I'd expect it to be quite tightly contested.
The Sixers play Perth at North Dalton Park on Tuesday, December 12, 2 weeks into a competition which is expected to be the biggest yet.
It seems to be almost hip to go watch women's sport at the moment, so there's plenty of cricket on during the summer, so I'd like to think that they're going to get out not only to watch the Sydney Sixers but also the Australian women's cricket team in the Ashes, which is about to start on the 22nd of October.
Jared Constable, WE News.
From one gold to another, and Ali Day will be looking to etch his name into the record books on the Gold Coast this weekend as he chases a record equalling 5th Coolangatta Gold Crown, a feat achieved only by Kane Eckstein. The former Wirrilla Barrack Point clubby claimed his 4th title last year with a remarkable win of more than 5 minutes from Matt Bevilacqua. The Illawarra and South Coast will be well represented at the world-renowned event, which kicks off on Saturday. And that is Thursday Sport, Jeff.
Mel, thank you for that. Weather is X with Tanya, and it was a little breezy in some places today.
It was, Jeff, and there may be some drizzle ahead. I'll bring you the details next. Hello again. It was a humid day across the state with both minimum and maximum temperatures sitting above average. Our weather photo for today is thanks to Chris, who captured this spectacular snap at Cataract Dam. I'd love to see your weather shots from around the region. Email them through to weather@wintv.com.au. Let's have a look at the details from today. Winds gusted to 48 kilometres an hour at Bulli and Bowral today. Nowra had hit 20 degrees by 10 this morning, topping out at 27, 21 the high for Ulladulla. On the south coast, biggest, strongest wind gust was 30 kilometres an hour. It dropped to a low of 7 and climbed to 19 degrees today, 20 the high for Bateman's Bay and Maruya Heads. On the satellite, a weak trough of low pressure lies through southern and western parts of New South Wales. On the synoptic, the trough will interact with a humid air mass in the northeast tomorrow, where it's likely to generate some showers and storms before clearing the state on Saturday. On the waters, some cloud cover about and a chance of showers tomorrow. A strong wind warning is in place right down the coast. Taking a look at the forecast for the Illawarra and Southern Highlands, partly cloudy with a slight chance of a shower and gusty winds. A low of 9 for Goulburn. It's expecting a top of 21 throughout the day tomorrow. 26 the forecast high at Picton and 22 for Kiama. Winds will be strong on the south coast too. Partly cloudy day there as well with some patchy morning fog. A high chance of showers near the border and a slight chance elsewhere. Narooma will drop to a low of 12 and head for 21 throughout the day tomorrow. 20 the forecast high at Bega. For Wollongong, cloudy tomorrow, a low of 16 and climbing to a top of 22. Sunrise will be at 6:26 a.m. with the sun setting at 7:02 p.m. Taking a look at the days ahead, Saturday partly cloudy with a slight chance of a shower in the south as well as some patchy morning fog near the Victorian border. Will be partly cloudy on Sunday with patchy morning fog and a slight chance of a shower later in the day. And Monday will be breezy with a high chance of showers and the chance of an afternoon storm inland of the Illawarra. Taking a look at those temperatures, it will be warming up to the start of next week, 30 for Nowra come Monday, but possibly some more unsettled days ahead, Jeff.
Let's hope we get a few showers. Tanya, thank you. And that is WIN News for Thursday the 5th of October. To view some of our reports, visit the WIN News Illawarra Facebook page. I'm Jeff Phillips. Thanks for your company. Until 6 tomorrow, good night.